Hello, hello. Good evening, guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, colleagues, PTs, PTAs, OTs, OTAs, and SLPs here inside the Alternative Healthcare Career Group. This is your host, Bert De Vera. Today or tonight is our weekly live home health contract show. Obviously, this is my business model, home health contract. That's why we named the show Home Health Contract Show, right? But tonight we're going to go a little bit in a different path. We're going to divert a little bit, all right? So tonight we're going to talk about how to be financially free in 2021. All right, just to make sure we're on the same page here, I am not going to teach you a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick show, no. So I'm going to show you guys the two main strategies that I use on how to be financially free in 2021. And these strategies are really effective as far as I'm concerned, at least for me. And hopefully you can see, the value and the importance of these two strategies. And if you want to apply it on your own, you can do it. All right. It's just a matter of making a decision whether you want to do it or not. Okay. But before that, I want to wish everyone a belated Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year. We are 3 days away from 2021. 2020 has been very challenging, I'm pretty sure. A lot of layoffs, a lot of furloughs, a lot of COVID patients, a lot of patients who survived, including myself. I'm grateful that I survived. We lost families. I lost my aunt. I lost my cousin. And I'm pretty sure some of you have lost some friends and families as well. But you know what? Every day is a new day. I'm pretty sure my families that I've lost would want me to move forward and keep going. Okay, if I can hear them talk right now, they would tell me, hey, you got to move forward. All right, you got to keep going. So there's a lot to look forward to. We have to stay strong for those who are still here. Stay strong for our families, that are still depending on us and wanting us to be around. All right, so no matter what you're going through right now, whether you're feeling down, you're feeling discouraged, I want to let you know, guys, that every day is a new day. Okay, I don't know if you're a believer or not, but I am. God's grace is sufficient, and every day is a new day, and you just got to move forward. Every day is a gift. No one is guaranteed, another day tomorrow, and we should be thankful for every day that we have. All right, so I just want to share that real quick, and we're going to jump right into how to be financially free in 2021. So you might be surprised that you don't really need $1 million to be financially free. Okay, I just said that you don't need $1 million or tons of money to be financially free. If you evaluate where you are right now and where you want to go and what are the strategies that you can do to be financially free, you'll be surprised. You actually don't need that much. You just have to have the right strategy. Okay, so I want to remind everyone that we are live here via Facebook Live inside Alternative Healthcare Career Group. Feel free to comment, say hi, tell me your name, where you're from. We have Sloan Cambron. Welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us tonight. If you want to share your name and where you are, anybody else listening to us tonight, please feel free to comment. Okay, I'm here to answer any questions you have regarding home health contract or any sort of business question. If I can answer it, I'll do my best to answer it. But tonight, like I said, it's all about how do we face 2021. And if you want to be financially free in 2021, then you have to know where to start, where you want to go, and what are the strategies you can do. All right. So I'm going to share that to you tonight. Okay. So we are going to pull the slides in a little bit. However, before I do that, I do want to share with you guys, in case you still don't know, that we have free videos on how home health contract business works. So Jenny, my good friend in the background, will share with you. There it is. That's the link. If you want to get the free 4 videos that I'm giving away, these are free 4 videos that I did myself on how you can start your own home health contract business on the side without quitting your job. Or if you own a private practice, you can add this to your clinic. If you do a mobile Part B practice, you can add this as well. If you do cash-based, you can add this as well. If you do telehealth, you can add this as well. If you do women's health, you can add this as well. whatever you're doing right now as far as any business is concerned, you can add this model, this home health contract business model, as a side hustle, and you might be surprised. It might probably surpass what you're doing right now. Yes, I'm biased. It's one of the best business models, I believe, because I've been doing this since 2003. All right, so it's been 17 years. And for those of you who don't know me, I've been a PT since '98. We're 2020. This is my 22nd year as a PT, and I've been in business since 2003. So I was an employee like most therapists from '98 to '03. Been there, done that, put in the 40 hours, 60 hours a week. Yes, I'm a PT myself. I'm the CEO of Rehabpreneur. And like I said, I've done the daily grind of working for someone 95, 40 to 60 hours a week. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt for it, and has a lot of time to talk about it. How about that? So anyways, so 2003, fast forward, we're 2020 now. I've been doing a home health contract business since 2003. It's been 17 years, and I'm now coaching other colleagues on how to do it. And I've been asked, hey Bert, why are you coaching others in doing this business model? Why don't you just do it yourself? Guess what? I can if I want to, but I don't want to be covering the whole 50 states, the whole United States. You know why? Because someone in that state has a better network than I do. Okay? Wherever you're located right now, you have a network of therapists, and you can tap into that network to start in this kind of business. Okay? If you tap into your network, you can execute faster. And I enjoy coaching. I enjoy teaching other people, other colleagues on how to do this. I enjoy seeing the results of someone transitioning from being an employee to becoming a business owner. To me, that's priceless. Okay. Whenever someone tells me, hey, Bert, thank you for mentoring me. Thank you for taking me into your program. Now I can quit my job and focus on having more time with my family. To me, when that happens, then I have achieved my goal. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our topic for tonight. How do you get to be financially free in 2021? I'm gonna pull my slides, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen here real quick. Let me see here. Share screen. Let me pull this up first. Alrighty, and feel free to ask questions, guys, okay? So share screen, here we go. Application, boom, here we go. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? All right. I want to make sure everybody can see my screen. Jen, can you see my screen before I hit play? Yes? Yes, okay, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge the screen. Okay, so here we go, guys. How to be financially free in 2021, okay? First step you need to do is figure out, where do you start, okay? Where do you start? So you cannot go into your destination unless you know where to start, just like your GPS, right? If you put an address, the GPS needs to know what's your starting point, all right? So it's very basic, but sometimes, you know, a lot of people don't follow the basics of doing what you're supposed to do before you can achieve what you want, okay? You gotta know where to start, okay? So number one, know your monthly cost of living, okay? This is very basic. What do I mean by that? You have to know how much does it cost you to pay for your house, pay for your car, pay for your food, and any miscellaneous, okay? So in this example, I'm using about $3,000. So if your house is $1,500, your car and gas, for example, is $700, your food is $400, let's say $100 a month of groceries, $100 a week of groceries, and then any other miscellaneous, $400 for expenses here and there. So that's $3,000, right? Now, where do you want to go? You want financial freedom, right? So you start with having knowing your cost of living, and where do you want to go? You want financial freedom, right? So you need to produce $3,000 a month to cover your expenses. It's as simple as that. You don't need $1 million. When I say you need to produce $3,000 a month, if you can find a means to produce $3,000 a month without you doing all the work, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit of what I do, without you doing all the work, then you're out of the rat race. Okay? Think about that. Do I need $1 million to be financially free? No. You just need a source that will produce the income you need monthly to cover your cost of living. All right? So I'm going to escape here for real quick. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to pull up a calculator and show you. Okay, there it is. Okay. Share screen right here. Application and boom. Okay. Can you see my calculator? There it is. Okay. So here we go. So again, let's go back. So $1,500 for your house, for example, plus $700 for your auto, your car and gas, plus $400 for your groceries, plus another $400 for miscellaneous. Okay, so $3,000. Let's say that's your monthly cost of living. What can you do, or what business can you put up to produce $3,000 so you don't have to work for someone? That should be your question. That should be your thinking. All right. What can I do to produce $3,000 a month to cover my expenses? Okay. Now, I'm going to share with you in a little bit what amount we produce in doing home health contract to cover an expense like this. Okay. Actually, let me share that right now. Okay. So pay attention. With home health contracting, the minimum profit we make is about $30, okay, per PTA and quota visit. Okay, where do we get $30? Here's where $30 is coming from. So whenever we see a patient, we have a contract with a minimum of $75 per visit, right? I pay the PTA $45 or the quota $45. Whoever sees the patient after the PT eval and the OT eval, of course. All right. Now, obviously, I'm a PT, I'm not an OT, so I have to hire an OT to do an eval if we have OT orders. But whether it's a PT PTA combo or OT OTA combo, our profit is about $30. All right. Okay, here we go. So remember our monthly cost earlier at $3,000. So at $3,000. You divide it by $30 profit from the business. I need about 100 visits a month. Okay, 100 visits a month from my PTA and quotas combined in order to cover my expenses of $3,000. Okay, now if I need 100 visits a month, how much or how many visits do I need a week? You divide it by 4 weeks. So I only need 25 visits a week from my assistants, from the PTA and the quota. Okay? So 25 visits a week from PTA and quota. Let's say I have one PTA and I have one quota. Therefore, these 25 visits a week will be divided into 2 individuals, 2 assistants. 1 PTA, 1 quota. Or if you don't have a quota, maybe 2 PTAs. Therefore, each assistant only needs about 12.5 visits a week. Okay? If the frequency of the patient is 2 times a week for 4 weeks, you divide this by 2. Okay? because now you have 2 visits a week. Therefore, each assistant only needs about 6 patients, a week. Is that doable? It's very doable. Okay, 6 patients a week per assistant. We do more than that. Okay, our assistants right now, they do anywhere, and these are PRN, PTAs, and quotas. They do anywhere from 20 to 25 visits a week each. Okay, but with our example here, you only need 6 patients. Okay, let me move forward now. 6 patients times 2 visits a week, 12.5 visits a week, okay, times 4 weeks, okay, that's 50 visits in a month for an assistant. And if you have 2 assistants, you have your 100 visits a month. And if you're making $30 per assistant visit, there goes your $3,000 a month. Okay, that's pure profit. So the business itself will cover your monthly expenses. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense to you guys, because that's just for about 6 visits. I mean, 6 patients, okay? So if you have an assistant, let's do another number. If you have one assistant with 10 patients, one PTA with 10 patients, and another assistant, let's say another quota or PTA with also 10 patients a week, and each patient is twice a week, times 4 weeks, you're looking at 160 visits a month. Okay, 160 visits a month, you multiply that by $30 profit, that's $4,800 a month. That's way more than your $3,000 cost of living. So if your cost of living is $3,000, then you have an extra money of $1,800 a month laying around. $1,800 a month extra, for example, you multiply that by 12 months, then you have $21,600 extra. You know what you can do with this $21,600? You can use this money to the second strategy I'm going to talk to you about, which is real estate. Okay, real estate is another strategy that I'm using. You can use this as a down payment on a property. Okay, on a property, and then let's say you found a property that's worth $100,000. That's a fixer-upper. Okay, you can use this as down payment, or if you have good credit and you're allowed to put down as little as 5% or 3%. This is way more than that. Okay, so let's do another math. If you need $3,000 a month, okay, for your expenses, and you have real estate as an investment, okay, let's say you have 3 units. Okay, if you have 3 units, you divide this by 3, you need to have a rental property that brings in $1,000 a month each. Okay, is that doable? Yes. Right now, I have 6 units. Okay, I have 6 units that are getting ready to be rented out. So 3 units is actually not, an impossible goal. All right. Now I'm going to tell you, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be in this position to do real estate unless I've done business, because the business, the money I'm making on the business side is what's funding the real estate. Now, I'm not here tonight to talk to you about real estate. That's another topic. It's a whole new different business model. But what I'm saying is, if you look around and you see most people that are financially free, they have some sort of real estate, rental or something like that in their portfolio. Okay, why is that? Because it's a necessity, guys. Everyone needs a roof under their head. Okay, whether you like it or not, everybody needs a place to stay home and sleep and take a shower and whatever. Okay, right now, according to the realtors that are in my area, it's a seller's market, meaning there's not a whole lot of not a whole lot of inventory. Okay, there's not a whole lot of houses. The inventory right now is really low. So there's a lot of people looking for houses. There's a lot of people looking for stuff to rent. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Any questions? No? So I'm going to go ahead and share. I think I already gave you those strategies. I'm going to share my screen here again before we go into a break. Hold on. Okay, share screen. I'm going to summarize those three things, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go. From the top, guys, in case you haven't been taking down notes. To be financially free in 2021, you have to know where to start. Okay, know your monthly cost of living. Okay, do the math tonight. Okay, go to your bank statements. If you don't know it, you better know it. Otherwise, if you don't take care of your money, then no one else will take care of it. Okay, no one will take care of it for you but you. Okay, so if you're try to look into your bank statements, how much are you paying for your house, your car, your food, any miscellaneous, and then if you can cut down on stuff that you don't really need, you don't even use, do that. Okay, because these are like holes in a water hose that keeps dripping. Okay, if you have this stuff you don't need, identify those and cut it. Okay, all right, so you want financial freedom, you need to find a business that will cover your monthly expenses. Okay, then you're out of the rat race. Okay, all right, so the different strategies, I'm just going to summarize. Like I said, I use mainly two. I use the business of home health contracting, and then I use real estate. Those are my two strategies. Now, you can find other ways to cover your monthly expenses, but you got to make sure that whatever you find as far as a business, you have to apply the lean method. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen this lean method, I'm going to share it with you guys in a little bit after a short break. The lean method, this is what I use to assess any business or any rehab business, and you'll find that this is very useful. This is quick. As long as you check any business model, is it lean? And LEAN stands for an abbreviation, and I will share it with you guys real quick after our short break. All right, so we're gonna go in a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss this. This lean method is huge. I mean, it's really gonna open your eyes as to determining what kind of business you can do. All right, okay, we're gonna go in a short break, guys.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
All right, that was indeed a quick break. So we are back. All right, can you guys still hear me? We have a comment from Deborah Wheeler DeHart. Deborah said, great strategy. I'm an OT with side business as a mortgage and debt elimination specialist. Yay, that's awesome, Deborah. I love it. Yeah, if you guys are going to go into real estate, you need people like Deborah because you need to get a mortgage, all right? But to make sure that real estate is something that's going to work for you, make sure that you are making a wise investment. You don't want to get a property or a mortgage where you're not going to make money. It's all about cash flow, okay? If a property is not cash flowing, don't even get into it, okay? I can determine in 5 minutes, this is based on the training I've been through, in 5 minutes I can tell if a property is a good buy or not. And the saying that you make money when you buy, not when you sell, is true, okay? So just one example. We're gonna go, we're gonna sidetrack in a little bit, just for a little bit, just to give you an idea. Okay, so I bought this property for $40,000. How did I buy this property for $40,000? It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Okay, it's a corner house, huge lot. This is how I found this property. Property went on sale on MLS, multiple listing service that goes into realtor.com. Okay, so the way I assess the property is this. I'm going to tell you my secret right now. I look into the county records for the address of that property and how much is this property assessed by the city. Okay, so the property was assessed at $88,000. Okay, $88,000, and the seller was asking $60,000. Okay, in a matter of 10 days, the seller brought down the selling price to $50,000. Okay, so that tells me this is a motivated seller. They want to get rid of the property. Let me find out why. All right. So upon research, I found out that the seller is the daughter of the former owner, and the owner is a couple of older folks that passed away. Okay, they passed away, and the daughter inherited the property, but the daughter doesn't want anything to do with it, and that's why in less than 10 days the price dropped from 60 to 50 grand. All right, so I called my realtor. I said, hey, make an offer for 45. Okay, see if they're gonna take it. Remember, the value of the city is 88 already. Okay, so 88 minus 45, if they take 45, I'm already gonna make what? Somebody do the math. Okay, 43. No. Yeah, 43. I'll make 43 grand right off the bat if they take 45, right? Guess what? They accepted 45. This daughter accepted 45. And so we enter into the option period. The option period is where you have earnest money. Earnest money is kind of like your skin in the game. You have your realtor giving this earnest money to the other realtor, which is the seller, and it gives you the right to go into an option period. The option period can be 10 days, it can be 15 days, depending on your agreement. This allows you now to inspect the house. Okay, so what I did in any of my investment, I always get it inspected to make sure the plumbing is okay, the foundation is okay, you know, the electrical is okay, the roofing is okay, whatever it is. Okay, so during inspection, we found out that some of the foundation needs some attention. Some beams have to be replaced. Okay, this is the time we counter offered. Okay, I told my realtor, okay, so they accepted 45. This time I want you to tell them we're gonna renegotiate. We want 40. Okay, we want 40 instead, because we have to spend money on fixing the beam on the foundation. So I had a foundation guy looked at it and said, okay, Bert, this foundation is gonna cost you about, give or take, $1,000. Okay, but I didn't tell the seller that it's only going to cost me $1,000. I asked for $5,000 because I don't know if there are more things we're going to find down the road, right? So I told my realtor, hey, make an offer for 40 and see what they say. Guess what happened? They agreed, and I got the house for 40, and the value of the city is at 88. Okay, so I already made what? 40 grand just from buying the house. So if I turn around the next day and just sell it as is, I'm gonna make 40 grand. Okay, that's what it means by making money when you buy. Okay, now, is 88 grand the real value of the house? The answer is no. It's usually more than that. How do I know? Because we have what we call your comps. Your comps are your comparables. Okay, comparables are the amount of the current selling price in the area. Okay, so what you do with the comparables, your realtor will figure out what are the houses within a mile or 2 miles that's sold in that area, and how much did it sell for? How much per square foot did it sell for? Okay, and then you compare that with what you have. So come to find out, the house is valued at 129,000. How much did I buy it for? 40. So I'm already making how much? 89, because of the current market value. Okay? This is what it means by making money when you buy. Okay? I can choose to sell the house and make my 89, or fix it, make it a little bit prettier, change the tiles, change the painting, do some fixing, and then rent it out. That's what we chose to do. So we're gonna rent it out. We fix the detached garage into another apartment. We turn it into a tiny house. The detached garage is now a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So the main house is also a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. So from a single structure with a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, we turn the property into 2 structures of 2-bedroom, 1-bath. And those 2 units will bring in $2,000 after all expenses. We're gonna rent the small one at $1,250 a month. And that's with the utilities paid, because it's a small unit. And then we're gonna rent the main house to about $1,450, because it's a bigger unit. It's 1,100 square foot. So $1,450 a month. That's all utilities included. So $1,450 plus $1,250, you're looking at $2,700 a month in rent. Okay, the $700 now is gonna go into water and electricity. Therefore, the net income is at $2,000. So if your monthly expenses is $3,000, your cost of living, you already got 2 properties now with $2,000 income coming in. You see what I'm saying? By using real estate as another source of income to offset or to cover your monthly expenses, this is what it means by using real estate. All right. Now, again, I wouldn't be able to do this if I was working for someone. Okay. The money I use to do this strategy or to make this happen is coming from my business. Okay. So it makes it easier when you have a source of income that you can use to get into other ventures and get into other investments. Because if you're relying on your paycheck, guess what? Right off the bat, from your paycheck, government takes 30% just from the taxes alone, depending on your tax bracket. Okay. And then on top of that, you have to budget if you have student loans, your housing and everything. So whatever's left is not going to be a whole lot. Plus, the fact is, if you're working for someone, then you're tied up. You're trading your time for money. So the goal is for you to be out of the rat race, meaning the goal is for you not to trade your time for money, but rather have a business that will cover your monthly expenses so you can free up your time to do other things. That way you can do some sort of other investment in other areas like real estate. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that real estate is the only medium that you can do. I'm just saying that it's my choice. I like it. I enjoy it. It's like a game to me. It's like treasure hunting to me. Finding a house worth $129,000 on market value, getting it for 40. To me, that's like treasure hunting. Like I found a treasure, right? So I'm just sharing that with you because I want you guys to realize, the power of leverage, the power of getting into something that can bring you more than just trading your time for money. All right. Now, do not be discouraged if you're working right now. If you're working for someone right now, hey, don't be discouraged. I was once an employee too. You just have to find a way how to get out of there, either slowly by starting a side hustle or figuring out, other means of income so you're not totally dependent on your full-time job. Because there's no such thing as job security, guys. How many government shutdowns have we had? Even the government cannot guarantee jobs. Okay, if you're a PT, PTA, OT, OTA, SLP, I'm sure by now you already know that furloughs have happened, layoffs have happened in our industry, and there's no such thing as, like I said, job security. You're only as secured as your ability to produce income. You're only as secured as your ability to go out there and hunt and make things happen, either through business, either to leveraging what you know, or like real estate, or starting a home health contract business on the side. All right. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the lean method. I'm gonna share with you guys my screen. How do you start a lean business? So this formula can be applied, in any form of business by knowing the abbreviations, LEAN. Okay, so let me open that up, and we will share with you in a minute what it is to start or to do a business using the lean method. Here we go. Share screen, application, boom, and boom. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna play it. Jen, can you see my screen? Yes, great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play it. Okay, guys, here we go. My lean method, LEAN. I use this to assess any rehab business or whatever business for that matter. Okay, so a little bit about me for those of you who don't know. I've been at PT since 1998. Like I said, I'm here in Texas since October 1st, 1998 is when I got my license. I was an employee from 98 to 2003. Okay, so been there, done that, got the t-shirt for it, like I said, and I went solo in mid 2003. That's when I did my startup, which is home health contracting. Now, if you ask me, Bert, why did you choose home health contracting? It's because it has the least overhead, and I don't have any full-time employees. All of my staff are PRN, so it's a pay-as-you-go model. So imagine if you only pay, therapists that see patients for you, then that's, the least stress you can have, because you only pay them when they bring in money. It's pay-as-you-go. All right. Okay, so on a personal level, I'm a husband to my awesome wife. There she is. That was our anniversary when we went to Niagara Falls. She's also in the healthcare field. She's a nurse. Father to our two awesome kids. They're grown up now. This is an old picture. I need to replace that. We have a daughter and a son. I play guitar. That's how I relieve my stress. I like playing guitar and singing and making sure no one is around. Right, and then I love tennis. I play 3 times a week. I play tennis. I follow the USTA. Been to New York at the US Open Tennis a couple of times, so I'm a diehard tennis player. All right, I also love fishing. There you go. That's a king mackerel. So we live close to the Gulf of Mexico here in South Texas. We're close to the naval station. This is where they train Navy pilots. They fly their aircrafts across the Gulf of Mexico, and so it's a really nice place. We call this the Miami of South Texas. The Miami of Texas. We're in South Texas, so we're like 10 minutes away from the beach. All right, so what do you want? Ask yourself, what do I really want? Okay, as a therapist, what do you want? Do you want to be a technician who does all the work, or do you want to be an entrepreneur who provides the work? Okay, you can only choose one, whether you like it or not. There's no gray area. It's either you are the technician and you just want to work, or you're gonna be an entrepreneur who provides the work. I chose to provide the work back in 2003. Now, obviously, when I was starting, at some point, I was the technician / entrepreneur. Okay, I was doing all the work at the start, and then I started delegating it, and that's how I became a full-time entrepreneur. And that's okay, because your goal is to be a full-time entrepreneur if you don't want to be a technician. All right? Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know the cash flow quadrant, I advise you to pick up this book. It's from Robert Kiyosaki. He's the same author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book. Cash flow quadrant will tell you exactly where you are and where you want to go and what you need to do to get there. All right, so just real quick, this is the cash flow quadrant. The E quadrant is the employee quadrant. Most therapists are here. What happens to us when we finish PT school and get our license? We look for a job, right? Either in a SNF, outpatient, hospital, you name it, home health. If you're working for someone, you're an employee, obviously, so you have a job in this quadrant. Okay, 90% of us are in this quadrant. Now on the S quadrant, lower left half, this is the S quadrant, the self-employed. So a lot of therapists are also in this quadrant. Either you're a solopreneur, you do cash-based, you do mobile Part B, you do telehealth, you do women's health. If you are doing all the work, you own a job. Meaning, okay, you are still trading your time for money. Okay, so if you don't put in the time, you don't make money. This is the left side of the quadrant. This is where most therapists are right now. I moved to the right side of the quadrant way back in 2003. The B quadrant is the business owner quadrant. So in this quadrant, we have a system that creates revenue, okay? Just like the home health contract system that I showed you. We get referrals, we do the evals, or I send someone to do the evals if I can't do it, and most of the time, I don't do it anymore. And then we send our PTAs or our quotas if there's an OT order to do the treatment. We pay the PTAs, we pay the quotas, they're happy because we're bridging the gap of the low census at their workplace. So if you have PTAs and quotas that are being sent home by the nursing home or by the hospital because the census is low, guess what? They'd rather do this. They'd rather see patients in the home health setting as opposed to going home or being forced to use their PTO that they're saving for vacation. So as a business owner, we are solving a problem. We are bridging that gap for our colleagues who got laid off, who got furloughed, and now we have a job for them. Does that make sense? So I just want you to see it from that angle. You're going to business not just for yourself, but also you're helping other colleagues. Now the last quadrant, okay, in the B quadrant, you have others working for you or with you. On the last quadrant, the bottom right, the investor quadrant. This is where I'm at right now. I'm investing in real estate because there's money overflowing from the business that I can use in real estate, okay? In this quadrant, money works for you, like the rent in your apartment, the rental in your house. Money is now working for you, okay? Just like Shark Tank, the venture capitalist show, okay? They have money and they want to invest it on any business that they think makes sense for them. That's why they're called the Shark Tank, and most of them are angel investors, okay? So on the right side of the quadrant, here's the difference. You make money without trading your time, okay? You make money without trading your time. On the left side, you have to trade your time to make money. So on the right side, you make money without trading your time, and the question now is, how can you move from the left side to the right side of the quadrant, okay? So that's the question. All right, so here's the lean method. The first letter is L, leverage. In any business that you're going to consider, make sure you have leverage. If you're starting a business and you're doing all the work, you don't have leverage. You have a job. Okay? So whatever business you have right now, I don't care if you have LLC, if you have S Corp. LLC is just a name. It's a fictitious name. The real test of a business is leverage. Do you have leverage? Okay? Do you have someone doing the work for you? If not, then I'm sorry, you don't have a business, you have a job. You just have to figure out how to find leverage. Can you delegate the task? That's the number one question, okay? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then good, keep going. If the answer is no, we'll figure out something. How can you delegate the task? All right? And how soon can you delegate the task? Okay? If you're waiting for a year or 6 months before you can delegate a task, to me, that's too long. With home health contracting, we can delegate a task from day one. As soon as we get a referral, I have the choice to delegate it to either have a PT or OT, depending on the order, to do the evals for us, and have the PTA or the quota to do the follow-up visits. Boom, day one, delegation. No waiting for credentialing or anything like that, because we don't bill Medicare Part A, we bill the agency. All right? Okay, scalability, still under leverage. Okay, can you duplicate yourself quickly? Or are you going to be the main and only worker? Okay? If it takes you 60 to 90 days, for example, credentialing to duplicate yourself, that's still up to what? 2 to 3 months. If you do that under Medicare Part B, and that's what you want to do, okay, it's going to take you at least 2 to 3 months before you can duplicate yourself. And not only that, if you do mobile Part B mobile, okay, you have to have direct supervision. Okay, if you have to have direct supervision, and what's the point of delegating it if you have to be there? Okay, that's why I don't do a lot of mobile Part B, although there's an exemption right now until January that you don't have to be doing direct supervision, but that can change real soon. All right, still it requires credentialing. If that's your business model, I'm not saying it's a bad model. I'm just saying it's a fact that you have to do credentialing. Now, if you're doing that right now and you want to add home health contracting on top of it, then good. It's a very good model, because now with home health contracting, when you discharge a patient from home health and they still need therapy, then you can pick them up under Part B. All right, just make sure they're totally discharged and make sure it's cool with the agency you're contracting with. All right, so there's the picture for that. Can you duplicate yourself? It's like cloning yourself. All right, E, execution. Okay, on the lean method, the first letter is L, leverage, second letter is E, execution. How fast can you execute? Okay, how much capital is required? Okay, how much will it cost you to get started? Do you need a lot of money? Okay, do you have the money to start, or do you have to get a loan? Okay, with home health contracting, you don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need to build out of a clinic. You don't need to sign a lease. You don't even need to franchise. Okay, I've seen a franchise company charge as much as $50,000, some of them 100,000, some of them, 150,000 just to start a clinic. That's a lot of money. I'm not gonna go for that. Okay, if you're in that boat, I hope you're making enough money to cover or recoup your franchise expense and then some. If you're doing great, good. If you're not, then you better reevaluate what else can you do. All right. Okay. The time commitment. Will it require you quitting your job and going all in? Okay. Ask yourself, if you start this business or that business, am I going to quit my job to go all in? With a home health contracting business, no. You can start this on the side. Okay. When will you say, dear boss, I quit? Okay. Or can you start it while working at your current job? The answer is yes. Okay. Case in point, I have one of my students, his name is Trevor from Boston. He was working in an outpatient, was doing this business on the side September of last year. He got laid off February, and guess what? When he got laid off, he was fine because his home health contracting business is already starting to thrive. And then a few months down the road, his boss asked him, hey, Trevor, do you want your job back? His answer was, no, I don't want my job back. I'm doing great with my business. He now has 15 contracts under his belt, a lot of therapists working for him, and is really doing great. So ask yourself, what is your side hustle? What is the side business you can do that in case you get furloughed, in case you get fired or laid off, you have a plan B? If you don't have plan B right now, that's bad. You better start thinking, what is your plan B? Because no one is guaranteed their job tomorrow. Okay, your employer is not guaranteeing you're still going to have a job tomorrow. I hope you still have a job tomorrow, but it's not guaranteed. At any moment, they can tell you, hey, we just got bought. Okay, somebody's taking over, or hey, we're downsizing. We have to let you go. We have to keep, only a few therapists. It can happen, right? So you better have plan B. All right. And then you have to evaluate, which one has the lowest risk, which one has the highest risk. Okay, and how do you evaluate risk? You evaluate risk by knowing, what is the worst case scenario? What will happen if I don't have any patients? Okay, am I going to lose a ton of money? In a brick and mortar setting, if you don't have patients coming into your clinic, you're going to keep losing money. You're going to keep bleeding money because you have rent and overhead you have to keep paying. Okay. Okay. Letter A under your lean method. We got 10 minutes. Letter A, acceleration. How quick can you build your team? Okay. With home health contracting, you can gather your PRN crew, keyword PRN crew, as soon as possible. Because again, you don't need credentialing under home health contracting. We are providing services to the home health agencies. We are not applying for credentialing from Part B. We are not applying as a provider under Medicare Part A. The home health agency is a provider, a contractor under Medicare Part A, but we're not. We're just providing the services. Does that make sense? So once you get a contract with an agency, and I teach you how to get the contract once you're in my program, you can start building your team as soon as possible, as soon as tomorrow. Okay? So again, it's all about speed of implementation. How fast can you execute? Okay? How fast can you accelerate? Okay. Do you need construction? Do you need a permit or license? You don't need construction in the home health contract business model. You need a permit. No, you don't need a permit for Medicare Part A. You need your business entity because you need a contract between your business and the agency, but you don't need a local permit, from any other, regulatory board. No, all you need is to make sure that your license and your staff are licensed as therapists. Okay, in any business model, you got to know your ROI, return on investment. At what point will you get your money back? Okay, so basically, if you still have a student loan, you have a school loan, you are paying your student loans right now from your paycheck, correct? Ask yourself, how long do you have to pay your student loans? I was talking to someone today, and she said she has $263,000 in student loans. Wow. That's a lot of money, okay? If you have about $100,000 to $263,000 of student loans and you're relying on your paycheck to pay back that loan, it's gonna take you a while. But if you have a business you can do to pay off that loan quickly, then obviously you can accelerate, erasing that loan as fast as you can, sooner than just relying on your paycheck. All right. So what's your burn rate? Okay. For those of you who don't know what's a burn rate, it's the amount of money you somehow burn, meaning you have to use it to stay afloat. One good example is this. Let's say you have a McDonald's that opened in the corner near your house. They're not profitable right away. Okay. They have a burn rate, meaning they have to cover their rent, their expenses, for the first few months before they become profitable. Okay. So if you own an outpatient clinic and your rent, for example, to that building is $3,000 a month, and then you have your lease equipments. So therefore you are somehow burning $3,000 to $4,000 a month to keep your business open. That is your burn rate. Okay. If you have patients coming in on the first few months and now you're only paying half of $4,000. Okay. So your burn rate is 50% because $2,000 is coming from patient revenue and the other $2,000 has to come out of your pocket to keep your doors open. That is a burn rate. Okay. All right. The last letter in the lean method, letter N, is no huge overhead. Okay. Overhead expenses is the #1 killer of any business. The reason a lot of businesses close is because they don't have enough money coming in to pay their rent, to pay their staff, to pay their equipments. Okay. When the money going out is more than what's coming in, it's a simple math, right? When the money going out is more than what's coming in, you're going to go out of business eventually. Okay. With a home health contracting business, there's no huge overhead because you don't have a clinic, you don't have full-time employees. Okay. You don't market to doctors. Who markets to the doctors? The agency. Okay. Those are the 3 main sources of expenses that are already out of the window with a home health contracting business model. Okay. You don't have a building, you don't have full-time employees, you don't market to doctors. It's a great business model as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And again, if you want to know about how this model works, go to rehabpreneur.com/Mike Chua and you will see the 4 videos on how it works. Okay. So risk assessment. Let's go back to the low risk, high risk. What's the worst case scenario? What can happen when there are no patient referrals? Will you lose money? Let's say you start a home health contracting business and there are no referrals coming in. Are you going to lose money? The answer is no. You're not losing money because you don't have overhead expenses. Okay. Whereas with an outpatient brick and mortar, if you don't have any referrals coming in, you are going to lose money because you have some expenses to cover. Okay, so do not be scared. You just have to be prepared. Okay, be prepared. Don't be scared. Know your numbers. Okay, for any successful business you see out there, somebody took the risk. Okay, there's this saying that I read one time, and it says, people who don't take risk work for those who do. Remember that. People who don't take risk work for those who do. Okay, so cash flow. Who will pay you in whatever business you're planning to do? Who will pay you, and what's the billing process required to get paid? Okay. With some business models in rehab, you have to have Medicare codes, insurance, or whatever it is in order to get paid. With cash base, obviously, you get paid cash. With our model, which is home health contracting, it's straight up per diem invoice. If the contract says $75 per visit, then that's it. We don't use any codes. We just put eval, 75. Visit, PTA, 75. Quota visit, 75. Straightforward. It's not rocket science, all right? So you got to know where your cash flow is coming from and how you're getting paid. So there's your summary, guys. The lean method: leverage, execution, acceleration, and no huge overhead. Okay? So you got to test any model. Okay? What's the business model? You got to test it. Is it lean? Can you have leverage? Can you execute fast? Can you accelerate fast? Is there no huge overhead? If the answer is yes to 4, do it. If the answer is no, even to one of them, you have to think twice. Okay? Is it a good model or not? All right. So I hope you learned something from this. That's the lean method, guys. Let me stop sharing here. We have about a few minutes left. Any questions? No questions? So guys, I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you learned from that topic, how to be financially free for 2021. Figure out, again, where to start, where do you want to go, what are your strategies to get there. Like I said, you don't need $1 million to be financially free. You just need to come up with a business or some source of income to cover your monthly expenses. All right. So again, if you need to know where to find that video, Jenny, can you post the link, please? Get the free videos on how to start your home health contract business on the side. Go to rehabpreneur.com/Mike Chua. Deborah said, thanks, very informative. Thank you, Deborah, for joining us tonight. And thank you for what you do as an OT, as a colleague. Thank you for sharing with us your other gigs as a mortgage and debt elimination specialist. That's a good thing. We need to eliminate debt as fast as we can. Guys, if you want to text me, if you have any questions, I am giving out my direct cell phone number. You can text me directly at 972-649-9909. Feel free to text me. I'm a colleague. I'm a PT myself for 22 years now. I'll be happy to chat with you, see if, how can I help you. If you want to inquire about my mentorship program on how I can hold your hand to start your own home health contract business from step 1 to step done, send me a text. I'll tell you how to set up a call with me. Or as a matter of fact, you can actually set up a call if you go to speaktobert.com. Okay, speaktobert.com. It'll show you my calendar. It's on Central Time. Pick a schedule. It's a free call. I'll talk to you about 15 minutes or so to see where you're at, see how I can help you, and then we can go from there. All right. So thank you again for joining us tonight. We are at 9:30. It is time to close this show, and this show goes in the books. Again, it's another Monday night live show here at Alternative Healthcare Career Group. I just want to thank Emma and Mike for allowing me to do this show in this group. Thank you very much. Again, I hope you guys learned something from me tonight, and feel free to reach out to me. This is Bert De Vera, physical therapist, your host here at the Home Health Contract Show. We'll see you again next Monday. You guys have a happy new year. Be safe. Enjoy your families. Be positive. Find a way to be financially free for 2021. Do the work. Figure it out. Look at your numbers. Good night. We'll talk to you soon.